Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you are new here, hello, my name is Choua. In this video, I am going to be talking about my no buy, low buy plans for 2026. I have overspent a lot in the makeup category this year, as y'all can probably see in my makeup purchases that I post quarterly. Is it quarterly? Yes. And so I have spent so much money on makeup this year compared to any other year. And I don't typically do that. Like, I don't typically spend that much money on makeup within a year. And for me to get into the hundreds when it comes to spending money on makeup is shocking to me. So I was on my lap and she's huffing because she hears people from the hallway or in the hallway. Also, I think people are shoveling outside, so if you can hear noises, I'm sorry. And if you can hear her, I'm sorry. Like, it's around the time where people are coming home from work and everything. So hopefully she doesn't get too loud. So the reason why I want to go on a stricter no buy sort of year is because I overspent and overconsumed in my makeup and beauty products, and I want to get back to the time where I was a little bit more frugal. I was a little bit more reasonable with my purchases, and also just being able to like really stop myself from purchasing more than I need. Another reason I want to really just talk about this no buy is because we have a lot of expenses in the future that we are trying to save for, and I really need to prioritize those expenses over the beauty and makeup stuff, especially makeup. So that way I am putting my money towards something that is gonna benefit my future, is gonna help me build my family and everything. So that's another reason why I want to do this no buy. The last one is to really get back on self-discipline and self-control when it comes to spending money on these kinds of products. You know, sometimes when you are in a good spot financially, your expenses or like your lifestyle starts to get a little bit more expensive to like match the money that you are making. I feel that right now, and I want to not feel that, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to put all of my income into investments, into savings, into things that are going to be sustainable in my life. I have definitely lost a little bit of control when it comes to spending my own money on things that I would have stopped myself when I was younger from purchasing, you know what I mean? Like, my prioritizations is very loose these days, you know what I mean? Like, I am fine purchasing a lot of makeup products because my excuse or the reasoning behind it is, because in the past I have never been able to, you know, purchase X, Y, and Z or try this kind of product or that kind of product. And yes, although that is a justifiable reason in my book, I need to stop doing that so often. So that's the reason why I'm going on a more like stricter low buy / no buy. And the reason why I say low buy / no buy is because there might be some things that I pick up here and then to help with restocking my collection. So the rules for my no buy / low buy, whatever you want to call it, for 2026 is to not buy any makeup products except products like eyebrow gels and mascaras and setting sprays. And those are the ones that I am going to allow myself to purchase outside of my makeup box subscriptions, because I want to switch out my mascaras and stuff at a reasonable time so I avoid eye infections. And then also I use a lot of eyebrow gels, and so I go through them really faster than like what I can get in my makeup subscription box. And then lastly, the setting spray. Y'all already know this as well, but I love my setting sprays, and I go through it like crazy. And setting spray is one of those makeup products that I love using because it just makes me, feel a little bit more hydrated, feel like my makeup is melted together, blended together, and everything. And honestly, I really love this look. I feel like this look would look a little bit more cakey if I didn't have setting spray. You know what I mean? So those are the three like product categories that I am going to allow myself to purchase in 2026. I am still going to keep my makeup subscription box from Ipsy though, because that is something that I have been doing for a while as a way to self-care and self-reward myself every month. And it's just kind of like a little bit of an incentive for myself every month because I do love beauty stuff. And that's the reason why I have this makeup subscription to begin with, is to bring stuff into my collection without spending all that money. So I need to get back on that and just rely on the products that I get in my box versus buying all these other extra products that I could have just, saved that money and put it towards something else. That is the one rule. Another rule kind of is not buying any makeup products outside of the three categories that I just mentioned, only if it needs a replacement. For example, if I used up all of my powders and I am not getting one in my box and I need to go out of my way to replace it because it's not coming in my box, then I will go ahead and purchase a powder. Of course, it's probably most likely going to be when it's on sale. That is one rule slash exception that I am allowing myself next year to do if I need a replacement for anything like that. So I hope this no buy and low buy will help me be able to save hundreds of dollars on makeup and beauty products. I am being very strict with makeup because makeup takes forever to get through and you could only project pan so many items within a year. So that's the reason why I'm being a lot stricter with my makeup purchases. When it comes to my beauty purchases, like my hair care, my skincare, all of that, I am not going to be as strict because I use those up. For the most part, I use those up. So when I am out of hair masks, I will purchase them on sale. So most likely like when Ulta has their 21 days of sale, if I see it on like Ipsy when they do their mega deals sale, I'll probably pick that up, or like during Black Friday, I'll pick it up. My skincare, I still have a lot of skincare that I'm working through that I get in my box, so I'm gonna work through as much of that as I can. But if I don't have a moisturizer or a serum and anything like that in my stash already, then I will give myself permission to go on Yes Style, or when there's like a brand sale, to go ahead and purchase like a few items, so that way I never run out of them in my skincare, because I do really like how my skin looks with the products I have in my routine right now. And so with that, I am one of those people where if I'm going to restrict myself and like really practice self-control and self-discipline, I like to sort of have a reward towards the end. So my reward for 2026, if I stick to these rules and if I don't spend like crazy like I did this year, then my reward is going to be allowing myself to purchase a advent calendar, whether that is a makeup one. There's a Studio Ghibli one that I saw online that looks really, really cool. So if they have that again, I will probably purchase that as my reward, because I really love the idea of advent calendars, and I've never really like had it growing up. So I want to kind of feed that inner like child in me with an advent calendar as a reward at the end of the year. And if I do make it to Thanksgiving without purchasing any makeup products outside of the three categories, so eyebrow gel, setting spray, and mascaras, then I am going to allow myself to participate in beauty sales. Obviously not going to splurge, just because like I spent a whole year not spending money, I shouldn't spend $600 in one sitting, you know what I mean? But like I didn't do Black Friday this year because I knew, even though I really wanted to, I knew I shouldn't, because I have other obligations and other priorities that I need to put my money towards. So because of that, I don't think my quarterly purchases are going to be that interesting in the year 2026 because I am bringing less into my collection and I am being a lot more intentional and very strict with it. I mean, if I purchase things within every quarter, whether they are part of the 3 categories and whatnot, I will probably still mention it. Most likely will still mention it, but instead of doing like the big purchase kind of videos that I have been doing this year, I think I'm going to shift it to showing y'all like what I got in my Ipsy extra box instead, because that is still considered a purchase, even though it's at like a better value in my opinion. So I will still consider those as like makeup purchases, but it's not going to be a part of this no buy plan. So I will probably do those every month because they are monthly subscriptions. And then if there are any beauty related purchases within a quarter, then I will go ahead and just combine my makeup and beauty purchases together, because I don't know if the video will be long enough if I just highlight like 1 or 2 mascaras or gels or whatever, you know what I mean? So that is my no buy / low buy plan for 2026. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below on what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.